Welcome to Fieldcraft Chronicles, where history meets survival and the forgotten lessons of the past become the tools of tomorrow. Today, we're stepping into a chapter of warfare that history books often overlook. The extraordinary animals who marched alongside men into the hell of the trenches carried messages through artillery fire and saved countless lives with courage that honestly just defied their nature. These weren't just beasts of burden. They were soldiers, comrades, and heroes who understood survival in ways that transcended species. Their stories reveal something profound about adaptability, resourcefulness, and the raw will to endure when everything around you is burning. Picture the Western Front at dawn. The air hangs thick with cordite and mud, the ground churned into a moonscape of craters and barbed wire. Into this nightmare walked horses like Sergeant Reckless, the Mongolian mare who became a legend during the Korean War. She understood something fundamental about survival in combat zones. Memorization of terrain and independent navigation. Soldiers trained these animals not just to follow commands, but to read the battlefield itself, to know which paths offered cover and which ones invited death. Reckless carried 75mm recoilless rifle ammunition up steep mountain trails while artillery screamed overhead, making solo trips when her handlers couldn't accompany her. She adapted to the rhythm of war, learning to crouch during incoming fire and to move during lulls. This wasn't instinct alone, it was learned fieldcraft, survival knowledge passed from human to animal through trust and repetition. The lesson here transcends species. Know your ground, memorize your routes, and understand that survival often means moving when others freeze. When radio fails, when runners get cut down, when the fog of war becomes impenetrable, redundancy saves lives. Cher Ami, a carrier pigeon in the First World War, embodied this principle of backup systems. During the Meuse-Argonne offensive, Major Charles Whittlesey and his battalion found themselves trapped behind enemy lines, surrounded and being shelled by their own artillery. Cher Ami flew through a storm of shrapnel and bullets, blind in one eye, her breast pierced, one leg hanging by a tendon, 25 miles in 25 minutes. The message she carried saved nearly 200 men. Soldiers understood that pigeons possessed navigational abilities that no technology of the era could match, an internal compass calibrated by the Earth's magnetic field and visual landmarks. They built mobile lofts, trained birds to home from increasing distances, and created a communication network that couldn't be jammed or intercepted. Modern survivalists often overlook the value of redundant communication methods, but history teaches us that your primary system will fail exactly when you need it most. Sergeant Stubby wandered into a Connecticut military training camp in 1917 as a stray and left as the most decorated war dog in American history. He learned to detect gas attacks before the alarms sounded, waking sleeping soldiers and giving them precious seconds to don masks. He located wounded men in no man's land by scent, guiding medics through darkness and smoke. Dogs brought something irreplaceable to trench warfare, sensory awareness that exceeded human capability by orders of magnitude. They heard movement through the constant thunder of artillery, smelled enemies approaching through the overwhelming stench of decay and chemical weapons, and maintained alertness when exhausted men couldn't. Chips, a German Shepherd mix serving in World War II, attacked a fortified machine gun position in Sicily, forcing 4 Italian soldiers to surrender. These animals understood threat assessment and decisive action, principles that apply equally whether you're facing enemy combatants or dangerous wildlife in the backcountry. Wojtek the Syrian brown bear joined Polish forces as a cub and became an official private, complete with paybook and rank. During the brutal Battle of Monte Cassino, he carried crates of ammunition weighing over 100 pounds through shellfire, mimicking the soldiers around him. Simon, the ship's cat aboard HMS Amethyst during the Yangtze incident, survived shrapnel wounds and continued hunting the rats that threatened food supplies while boosting crew morale during a tense standoff. These animals remind us that survival isn't purely physical, it's psychological. In the grinding monotony and terror of combat, maintaining mental resilience often meant the difference between functional soldiers and broken men. The companionship of animals provided touchstones of normalcy, moments of joy in landscapes of death, and living reminders that life persisted beyond the immediate horror. These animal heroes teach us principles that transcend their specific circumstances, develop multiple systems for critical functions, train until skills become instinctive, build redundancy into your communication networks, trust your senses and learn to read environments with the same thoroughness that Sergeant Reckless learned mountain paths. Understand that survival is as much about maintaining morale and purpose as it is about physical preparedness. When you're building your own preparedness plans, remember that the most sophisticated equipment means nothing if you haven't developed the adaptability and resilience these animals demonstrated under impossible conditions. If this journey through history has sparked something in you, a deeper appreciation for the lessons written in mud and blood, or a renewed commitment to learning the timeless skills of survival, then subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles and share this with others who understand that the past holds the keys to thriving in an uncertain future.